For all my soulful science nerds out there, this is one way to visualize the chakras. So let's say you've got your sample on your slide that you're going to look at under a microscope. Now, depending on the magnification, you're going to see a totally different picture. So you could be looking at the organism, or zooming in and seeing the cellular structure, or zooming in further and seeing the molecular structure. So you've got these different magnification layers. And each time you switch, you need to focus. You need to use your attention to be able to see what's actually there. So when we think about these different layers that each contain a totally different picture of the very same thing, we can visualize them as a rainbow, which represents the chakras. And these are different levels of awareness. At the base layer, we have survival. So this is the most granular, the most zoomed in, where we're just concerned with staying alive. Everything feels like a threat. And when we ascend to the next layer, so we're actually zooming out here, this is when the world comes into view, when we're able to experience what's coming in through our senses, rather than being just in that fear-based state. So experience pleasure. Now, above that layer, we start to have agency. We zoom out and we recognize ourselves as willful beings. We can make conscious choices. We can set our goals, we can keep our commitments, and from there, we're able to form connection. So here at the heart chakra, this is where we're able to experience love and goodwill and appreciation and have these meaningful relationships. Above that layer, now we start to get into this communication where we're sharing our own honesty, our own integrity, and through open-mindedness, we're also gathering the wisdom of others. We're also growing, taking in, and expanding ourselves further to move into this layer of self-awareness. And here in self-awareness, we can feel self-love, joy, inspiration. So this heightened, zoomed out sense of what it is to be a human being. Above that is oneness. This defies description. This is beyond the human experience where we know ourselves as part of the larger universe. So one point is that we have to move upward. So we move from one layer to the next. This is one way of thinking about it. So that if we're in the survival mode, we may want connection, but we don't experience connection because we're only seeing everything through the lens of survival. So we actually need to move first from that base layer to being aware of sensuality and then self-control. And then when we have that self-control, then we can feel connection. However, it's also true that we are full spectrum beings. So at any moment, we are the organism, the cellular structure, the molecular structure. We are all of these things. We can experience that full spectrum of existence.